Hannah. There we go. Yay. So basically tonight we're just here to talk a little bit about what is coaching, why we do it, why we love it, and what our team is about. You guys see the full-time grind to full-time freedom. This business is capable of being pretty much anything you want. A lot of times people have the misconception of thinking that when you sign up for a team that whoever's the leader of that team is your boss, and that's just not the case. What we do is we mentor, we help, and basically much like having an internship or having a mentorship in other businesses, that's what we do is we teach people to lead and teach people to help others. Tonight is going to be a peek into what our team is all about and kind of why we're excited to be here. So, what is a coach? I love this question because it's got like 1,000 answers. I tell people a lot of the time that I'm basically a professional motivator. I'm like that person that makes you get up and go to the gym when you don't want to, but it actually goes a lot deeper than that. We are people that are young professionals. We're new moms. When I signed up to coach myself, my daughter was just shy of 2. I was very much lost in my fitness journey. I had been a trainer for years, so I really didn't recognize my body at all. I joke, and my team's heard me say this before, but there's a reason the mirrors in the hospital are only waist up a lot of the time after you have a baby, so you don't really quite realize what's happened to your body for a while. But we are people with young families, students. I was in grad school also when I started to coach. I was finishing my master's. And you can be new to fitness. You can be a trainer. People kind of freak out sometimes and are like, oh my gosh, I don't have a fitness and nutrition background. And that's not what you need to be a part of this at all. In fact, in some cases, it's almost better because all of that is there for you. All the programs, all the nutrition. It's really cool if you can pick it apart, which, I have a training background, so I can. But in some cases, it almost makes you, kind of overthink things. So I think pretty much anybody with a love and passion to help others can definitely be successful in this business. Fitness lovers, I know of a lot of people that don't necessarily like fitness, but they like Beachbody. And the reason behind that is it's a total community. It's not just, oh, you go to the gym, you sweat it out on an elliptical for 30 minutes. I mean, I remember doing that in high school and I absolutely abhorred it. Versus, this morning I got up and I did my dirty 30 with Autumn, cursing her the entire time, but it was 30 minutes. I did it before my daughter was up and I was done, and that was it. And I see much faster results doing things with these programs than I ever had doing things on my own, or even with the cheap little Target DVDs or things like that. Because I mean, pretty much there's 1,000 ways to skin a cat. We've tried, I don't know about you guys, but we've tried just about every diet in the book in our house. Luckily, my husband is a big supporter of a healthier lifestyle, so he's been on this journey with me as well. Some of these are just pictures of our team. To the far left is Carolyn, Miss Carolyn, mom, entrepreneur, not anything, not anything crazy, not a fitness background, not anything like that, but she just has a passion to want more for her family. Shannon has 2 beautiful kids. Love this picture. Also has been with us for about a year. Middle, we're going to talk about this in a minute. This is a picture with me and several of the other coaches from Summit, which is an awesome event in July every year in Nashville. I believe it used to be in Las Vegas. Now it's in Nashville, which is a little bit more centrally located, which is nice. Tons of events, tons of training, tons of motivation, basically anything and everything you could think of to build a better life, both mentally and physically. It's all in one place, and it's a lot of bonding experience. It's almost kind of like going to camp in some respects. I roomed with 3 other girls when I went last year, and it was just such an amazing experience. Workouts with celebrity trainers. There was a workout in the middle of the street in Nashville off Broadway, and there was, I think they said that 13,000 coaches. There was almost a little over half of us all went to that workout, which is just insane. In the middle, we have Jennifer and Christy, and this is just an example of kind of how we share what we do. It's not anything salesy, and we'll go over that in a minute, but it's just sharing how we have fun with being healthier. Over and over again, the thing that I've heard in this business, both with the women that I've helped and our team, is we want to be a better example for our kids. many of you guys know, like the generation that's coming up right now is the most overweight generation ever, which is really, really, really scary. So like my daughter, every time I pop in a workout DVD, she comes and she wants to lift the weights, man, and she's strong. So one day she's going to be kicking my rear end. And then I'm going to move this over a little bit. Miss Jenna, who also has a really incredible story. She's had some health issues that Shakeology has really helped her overcome in the last year. And I believe she is now 45 pounds down. I know Shannon's about 40 pounds down. So as much as it is about fitness, we're going to get into a little bit about the other. It's about the total package. It's about a total lifestyle change. And coaching is simply being willing to share that journey and that vulnerability with other people. Kind of like, instead of being cool and be like, yeah, I don't need anybody, which a lot of us are in our 30s at this point, late 20s, early 30s. And I was talking to somebody today about how that just simply isn't the case. Like, life goes so much better if we just help each other. Change from the inside out. We kind of touched a little bit on this. This is a picture of my why, my little mini me. Not to get into it too much, but I've recently been posting about why I started doing this. And in the coaching world, you have is what's known as your why. For me, my daughter had a huge amount of health problems, and it was very, very scary. And I had sold my business in 2012 and chosen to move to Germany with my husband, his Department of Defense. And it just went from bad to worse. She had 2 hospital visits, tons of fevers, tons of infections. The doctors didn't have any answers. And we literally had $33 in our bank account when I decided to sign up for this. It was a very scary moment in my life, but it's one that I will never take back, because I found an incredible community. Our team is an incredible group of women. And now she's fully healthy. I do have a second business, but that's something that I've chosen to do. I work full-time from home for about 4.5 months. And I love it. And actually, we've grown quite a bit since then. So that's kind of a little bit about why this business is so incredible. You can do it at your own pace. You can choose to be it full-time at home and go to, nose to the wall, or you can choose to kind of take a step back and do it part-time if you're looking for a little extra income. Me personally, my personal goal, I also work with the NFL, is to have 2 full-time businesses. So that I can choose to stay at home with my daughter when I need to, and I can choose to work when I need to, outside the home. So personal fitness accountability. I hear this a lot, so we're going to kind of go through this. People freak out and go, I can't be a coach. I don't have a perfect body. I don't have, a size 2 waist. I don't have this. I don't have that. If you look at the coaching community, I can name on like one hand how many people I know have a perfect body, especially once you've had a child. Things tend to not be in the same place. So that's not what this is about. Coaching obviously is leading by example. You want to post about your workouts. You want to be able to reach out to other people. But coaching is so much more than that. Coaching is willing to be like, hey, okay, you missed your workout this morning. Get back up, keep going. When I say we're professional motivators, I'm really not kidding. Freedom, financial freedom, freedom of choice. I have come to the conclusion I will never work for anyone else ever again. I get up when I want to. I go to bed when I want to. I stay up till 3 a.m. and work on things for my team when I get really inspired. The thing that I really love is much of the time when they're kind of on that same bent, I will get text messages or messages on Facebook. And it's just such a cool thing to be building together, because all of us have stories. I kind of touched a little bit on my daughter. And looking back on that now, it seems a little removed sometimes how scary that moment was for me. But she now knows all of my coaches. She knows all of my mentors as well on the team. And she really doesn't remember a time I wasn't a coach. She helps me pick out prizes, literally Marshall's Target. Sports Authority. She helps me to pick out prizes for everybody for my challenge groups. And I love that my daughter is a part of something so positive. Working from home or on my phone. This is something that has, case in point right here. It's such a blessing to be able to do. When my daughter was going through all her health issues, I can't tell you how many times, how many nights I was doing posts or whatever to challenge groups, or to my coach groups, or just talking to people that were reaching out and wanting to know about what we were going through from my phone, because my daughter wouldn't let me put her down. She actually was in a lot of pain for a long time. So whenever it got bad enough for us to be admitted, she wouldn't let me go, literally. She was on my chest. So the necessity to be able to build my business from my phone was a little insane. And the fact that that was even possible is just incredible. So as far as quality friendships with like-minded people, I think I've kind of gone on about that a little bit. It's such an amazing opportunity to be able to bond with other women that have that same mindset. And it's a very rare opportunity to be able to really work with the people that you want to, and to be able to experience an environment where you can kind of choose who you want to work with, choose when you want to work. And I don't know of any other business you can possibly do that with. Constant source of fun inspiration. This is kind of what I was talking about. You know, we stay up till 3 a.m. sometimes if we want to. We go to bed when we want to. It's really a blessing. Several of us still work full time. The goal is to be able to work from home permanently. We work as a team. I very much was an independent person for a long time, and I still am in many respects. But I love our team environment, because when we work together, we really are capable of some incredible, incredible things. We're going to touch on this a little bit. Use your individual style and personality to share, not to sell. I cringe a little bit when people are like, oh, I'm a great salesperson. I'm actually a really lousy salesperson. And I think that's actually part of what's helped me in this business is I have no inkling to sell to people. In fact, I was at the mall the other day and I got jumped on by like 3 different people that were trying to sell me like skin cleansers and stuff. And I'm like, I have not had enough coffee for this. And I think sometimes, especially when we, start on our own journeys, we forget what that feels like. It's a little scary, but all we're doing is sharing. That's all we're doing. And the biggest thing, and the thing that took me a while as a coach to kind of embrace, is your individual style is what people need. So for, every coach that has a different style, there's a different audience that they're going to, be attractive to. And that's necessary, because I always tell my team, there is somebody out there that needs you, just you, specifically you, because it's kind of like, not to be cheesy, but it's kind of like soulmates. It's okay. You're the one person that somebody's going to relate to better than anybody else. Types of coaches. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this, but this will kind of get across what we do and why this is something that you are capable of doing no matter what. Discount coach. You love the products, you love the workouts, you love being a part of the community, but you don't really want to build a business. You just kind of want to be a part of it and get your workouts in. That's completely fine. We get a 25% discount, which is awesome, but you aren't really doing anything with it other than just kind of being a part of the community. Hobby coach. This is kind of where I stayed for a little while, just because I couldn't quite wrap my brain around how having to deal with Ella and her issues and trying to be the leader that I really felt like I needed to be. I didn't realize that you can fail forward at the time and really, in some respects, push yourself outside of your comfort zone and do better things when you're under that kind of duress. You use the products, you get the discount, you're a resource for people to approach about Beachbody and approach about challenge groups, which are basically monthly groups that we run on Facebook. They're private. They're not anything, super crazy, like, do 1,000 burpees or anything like that. But it's basically just a private forum for you to have a support. That's kind of where the accountability comes into. Builder. This is where we as Reformation Empire have been for about a year now, 6 months to a year. We're full on training. We're building our brand. Many of us are moms. We're kind of smart alecky. We generally have very smart mouths, actually. And we all kind of have a kind of story of overcoming. And a lot of it has to do with our children. Several of us are single moms. But our main goal is that we build everything together and that we lift each other up. That's kind of what we do. It said lead and inspire others. Without each other and without our team, in a lot of respects, I feel like before this happened, before our Reformation Empire was really formed, we kind of were going it alone. And I think we kind of were almost protected because a lot of us, like I said, are single moms. We've had kids with a lot of medical issues. Or maybe we were military moms. I'm also Department of Defense wife, which meant he was gone a lot. And this was my outlet. Building this was my outlet. And I just am so incredibly blessed by how our team is formed and the things that we've been doing. Run far away. We're not going to spend a whole lot of time on this again, but fitness models, we touched on that. I don't know about you. I will never be a fitness model again. I actually took pictures of my cellulite to prove it to my mom at one point. Do I feel a heck of a lot better in a bathing suit? Oh yeah, definitely. And the beautiful thing about this is if you ever find yourself in need of kind of a start over point, those programs are still there and they still work. Shakeology still works. So there's never a reason to just stop. You know, one of the things that Autumn always says is if you're tired of starting over, stop giving up. And this kind of community gives you the opportunity not to give up. Cookie cutter. Again, not everybody wants to look like Kim Kardashian or I don't even, you know, that's bad. I don't even know like the hot chicks of the time right now, but you don't want to be like everybody else. And the big thing about this business is it's kind of a bad thing if you are like everybody else, because, you know, just like Jamberry, you know, all these other things, we are a MLM, we're a networking marketing company, but this forum gives us the opportunity to be anybody we want, which is actually really cool. Salesy, I kind of touched on that already. It's definitely not what we're looking for. Cold callers, nutritionists, board. One of the things that our team really, really holds tightly to is integrity and the belief that we were meant for more and that we are building more for our families. A lot of us have daughters. I've noticed that recently. I don't know if that's just because of Ella or just in general, or I have no idea. But this has to be something that if you want to be in it, you have to appreciate the community. It can't be like kind of just something that you're like, okay, you try one time and then not quite sure if it's for you or not. Ignore family. Obviously it's Thursday night. I blocked out 30 minutes to be here tonight with you guys. My team did too. And we are so excited to have you, but I don't want to spend, 30 minutes, an hour, 3 hours a day. The reason I'm doing this is for the freedom of my family. And the reason we're doing this is for the freedom of our families. So I definitely never encourage ignoring your family. And we definitely protect our time with our kids very, very closely. What we are looking for. Driven. I think that's kind of spoken. Honest, going back to our integrity, cares for others. You cannot be a good coach in this business without really having a passion to want to help others. Not to be negative at all, but it's just the way it is. You have to be ready for a change. A lot of people get freaked out and they're like, I have to wait until I complete a program and I've lost all this weight and things. I actually signed up to coach with my first challenge group, because I figured if I posted my really ugly bikini pics publicly, then I would have to do well and I would have to follow the programs and I'd have to prove that they worked or didn't work. And it turns out they worked amazingly well. I dropped 2 sizes the first 2 rounds I did of 21-day fix. Busy. I love it when people tell me they're busy, because that means you have to prioritize your time. And what that means is, in a lot of respects, I don't know if you've ever set a timer and worked against yourself, you get so much more done. And because of the fact that it's a team environment, we often bounce ideas off each other or even delegate, like, hey, I need help with this. Can you do this? And then go back and forth. So that busy is good. Busy is actually very good in this business. Team focused. I think we touched on that a little bit. Master the basics. There's what's called the 3 vital behaviors. Obviously, you have to be willing to share about the opportunity and share about why you're passionate about this business and why you're passionate about helping others. But then also you have to be willing to put yourself out there and be vulnerable and be proof that those products work, be willing to share about it, and then be willing to grow. There's also the third component of, it's called personal development. And I used to poo-poo on this. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Like, people mentioned things like self-help or personal development, and I was like, what? And it has been one of the most eye-opening experiences since becoming a coach. I love finding my weak links now and finding books that I know will help me on, like, leadership or faith or family time or how to be a better mom in some respects. And I would never have ever done that without coaching, which is pretty cool. So dream vehicle. This is something that I wish I would have understood earlier. Beachbody does not mean you're a fitness lover. It doesn't mean that, you know, you eat, sleep, and breathe Beachbody. It doesn't mean anything like that. It just means that you recognize the capability that this business has for you and your family to provide freedom while making a huge impact on other people's lives. Sharing your stories, sharing your struggles, things that have nothing to do with Beachbody. Maybe they're just like, for me, why I became a coach. We were flat broke and I had no other outlet. I was out of stuff to sell on eBay, to be flat out honest. And I knew one thing I knew is I knew I loved to help people. I didn't sign up because I wanted to, you know, get into my first bikini competition. I didn't sign up because, you know, I just happened to I was obsessed with Tony Horton. In fact, I will fully admit, not a fan of P90X. Just doesn't butter my toast, sorry. But I love pretty much every program else I've come across. So if one out of like, I don't know, 60 something at this point is not bad. So basically what it means is it's just another way to move your family forward in a way that a lot of people wouldn't normally expect you to do. So these are kind of obvious here. On the left, we have Miss Carolyn, Miss Hot Mama over here, who joined us about a year ago, roughly. And she has just been incredible. And she, obviously the results speak for themselves. I think she was doing size with this one. And then on the right, we have Miss Jennifer, who is soon to be married. And also just, I want her guns. I'm not going to lie to you. I'm working on that. That is my personal goal right now. And, you know, they're both moms. It's very possible to get results and to be able to do all of this with your kids from home without having to spend money at a gym or having to, you know, hire a trainer or having to find childcare. I don't know about you, but popping in a DVD for 30 minutes and getting results like these is a heck of a lot easier than figuring out childcare, getting to the gym, coming home, you know, picking the kids up. I mean, that's a 2 or 3 hour ordeal for like an hour, which I don't know about you, that's kind of a no-brainer to me. How to get started. I'm going to kind of reverse engineer. First, challenge group. We talked about this a little bit. It's private and online, daily support. Basically what we do is, for me personally, and you don't have to do this way, I do different themes every month. Like this month we're doing a Live, Laugh, Love challenge, and it's a lot about like self-love, like seeing, you know, change from the inside out. And that's a lot of what coaching is, as I said. It's change from within, not just, you know, how you look in the mirror. Practice and observe, meaning you post your workout selfies, you post how you're changing, and then you get to observe the other people too, which is kind of cool because it keeps you motivated. Kickstart progress. So a lot of times people start, stop because they don't have support. Challenge groups makes it to where you kind of feel like you have to keep going even when you don't want to, because you have this whole other group that you've bonded with that, you know, they're waiting for you to show up too. So generally with challenge groups, what happens is you buy a challenge pack. The initial investment is $140 to $205, which honestly is nothing. As a trainer, I charge between $60 and $70 an hour, depending on which year it was. So basically for what you would have gotten for 2 hours of training, you get an entire program, meal plan, Shakeology, everything. Basically what happens with the coaching is if you do what I did, and you sign up to coach while you're doing your first challenge as well, they waive the initial $39.95 fee, which is not on here. But that honestly is, I mean, $40 to start your own business is nothing. Business fees, $15.95 monthly. They take care of all of our website domains. We have a Shakeology website and a Beachbody website, and basically it's just you put in your picture, you put in your, you know, description, bio, and you update it as you have progress, and that's really it. We don't deal with inventory, we don't deal with shipping, we don't deal with any of that. The only thing that we deal with is just making sure like people are happy with their results. Thank you very much for being here tonight, guys. I'm going to kind of open the floor up for